German is a bit complicated, just a bit. Here we have all of the pronouns, definite articles, indefinite articles, definite adjective endings, indefinite adjective endings, and unpreceded adjective endings for all of the genders in all of the cases. Now, this might seem daunting. This might seem like it's just inconsistent and there's absolutely no trends and absolutely no way of figuring things out. But that's not entirely true. There are a lot of trends and there are ways to make it so it's easier to remember this entire table. Whether you can have one of these tables. It's the same table, it's just grouped by different things. Right here, this right here is technically all you need. You need this, and you need to be able to figure out all of the trends. Because if you do it that way, right? Like trying to remember this table right here is gonna be kind of difficult. Like, okay, I gotta remember like this coordinate with this coordinate. No, 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 no. All you really need to do are just remember the trends, remember the general trends that you see, and then, and obviously, unfortunately, there are quite a lot of inconsistencies, but if you can just recognize those inconsistencies, then your life will be quite a lot easier. So, as you can already start to tell, some of these are like copied. Like you can see right here, like, whoa, these are the exact same lines. These are the exact same lines. All of these are like copies of the one above, and that is the key to understanding how this works, and making it easier for you to recognize that. Oh, this right here is awfully similar to this one, but it's not quite the same. And like I said, we're here to divulge and discuss all of the interesting anomalies. So let us start from the very beginning. We have the pronouns, er, es, sie. Now, first thing you can already notice is that this right here is an arrow, sa fem. What is sa fem? Sa fem means same as feminine. So went with the three first letters of that word, and you're going to see examples of that all over the place, where we have sa nom, same as nominative, sa mas, same as the masculine. So if you see an arrow with sa and then a word or the first three letters of a word, that is, same as. And as you can see here, um, you already don't need to learn as much as you might think you need to learn. Just basically, you look at the different colors that we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just went with this as a specific color, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all you need to know. You might look at the chart that other like companies or like people online have posted, and you might think you need to learn 16 different ones. You only need to learn 7. Same applies here, but even more so. You only need to learn 6. So let's go through a little bit more and talk about it, right? So we have Z, which is this, the plural nominative is Z, which is the same as the feminine nominative. Did I mention, by the way, this is third person pronouns? So in English, this would be the word she, and this would be the word they, right? In German, however, they are the same. The conjugations are different, but the words themselves are the same. So for example, if you were saying she eats, you would say sie ist. Um, that's a bad example. I shouldn't do eats. Um, she loves, right? If you're doing she loves, it is sie liebt. If you're doing they love, you say sie lieben. Okay? Right. Same as nominative. Now this is a constant trend. Same as nominative. This means that for the neuter, feminine, and plural, basically the non-masculine, in the accusative case, the words are the exact same for both the nominative and the accusative. But again, not for masculine though. For masculine, they have their own thing. Okay? Here, you can see same as masculine, whereas this right here, the dative neuter, is the exact same as the genitive neuter. Right here, we have same as dative, because the feminine genitive is the exact same, the feminine genitive is the exact same as the feminine dative. Now, again, these aren't always going to be the case, but that is the case specifically for the third person pronouns. Um, Here we have the definite articles. And as you can see here, I say that the masculine nominative is the same as the plural genitive. I didn't say that the plural genitive is the same as the masculine nominative. Now you might be wondering, why is that? A lot of people associate the word der with being the masculine nominative. Der Mann, der Tisch, der Apfel. You know, you associate the word der with being the masculine word. However, I chose to not go that route, and the reason why is because as a whole, in the masculine nominative, it's actually fairly inconsistent. It's not going to be its own thing. In fact, the masculine nominative shares less similarities with itself than it does with the plural genitive, which is why I am actually going to go and say that the plural genitive is actually the default, and that the masculine nominative is simply just the same as the plural genitive. And in this case, the feminine genitive is the same as the feminine dative, and the same feminine dative is the same as the plural genitive. In this case, that's not always the case, but in this specific case, it is. Then we have the indefinite articles. That would be mine, mine, minus, stuff like that, right? It could also be ein, right? So let me clarify that too. It could be ein. I went with the word mine because ein only applies to a singular object. So, and it uses the same conjugations and whatnot, right? Like if it is eine Frau, it would be meine Frau. It would be keine Frau, right? So it's the same conjugation. It would have the same adjective endings, or article. It would have the same, not adjective endings. It would have the same article endings. So, and like I said, I did that instead of ein because plural exists as its gender. Well, I don't know if I said that in this recording, but plural technically isn't a gender per se, but for the purposes of this list and for you to understand all of the genders and all of the cases and stuff like that, I'm going to say that plural is a gender. Got it? We're on the same page? Cool. Right. So, nominative plural, of course, as you can see here, it is the same as the feminine nominative. It is meine, so it'd be meine Schuhe, right? My shoes. Yeah? Cool. And as you can see here, most of it is surprisingly similar. Probably the most notable thing is, going back to that example of where I say that the default isn't, the masculine nominative. The masculine nominative for the indefinite article is the same as the neuter. It is just mine. It is not meiner. It is just mine. Why? I don't know, but that is the case. So, yeah. I feel like the masculine nominative, actually, I don't feel like it. I know that statistically because we can look at the chart back here. It's the most inconsistent. Look at the wide variety of colors we have going on here. We have, obviously, its own unique pronoun that doesn't exist anywhere else. But we have the definite article from the plural genitive. We have the indefinite article from the neuter nominative. We have the definite adjective ending from the feminine nominative, and the indefinite and unpreceded adjective endings from the plural genitive. It's like all over the place. Anyways. Oh, sorry. Now we can talk about the adjective endings. Speaking of the adjective endings, as you can see here, there is a lot of blue. A whole lot of blue. That is just it. A lot of blue. But obviously some green here as well. So for most of them, you're going to have the ending of en. So it'd be like, what is a good adjective? Shunen. Shunen. I could do shunen. I'm not good with the pronunciation of the though. The o umlaut. I'm not good with that pronunciation. I don't feel like saying that a bunch of times. Das. Net. Net. I'll use the word net. Das netten. Or sorry, die netten Leute. Yeah, die netten Leute. Die nette Frau. Das nette Bus. I think bus is neuter. der nette Mann. So, and as you can see here, same as nominative in this case here, but a lot of the other things apply right here as well. Not all of them, but a lot of them are the same as the masculine accusative for some reason. Most of these are the same as the masculine accusative. Why do I say that en is a masculine accusative? It should be pretty obvious, is because en is a staple of the masculine accusative. As you can see here, den and meinen, or den. I'm going to say den and meinen, both end with en. So I'm going to say that en is a property of the masculine accusative, and that anybody else that has that as the adjective ending is simply copying it from the masculine accusative. And quite a lot of them do that regardless of the adjective endings. So, but here, interestingly enough, we have the one instance where the plural nominative is not the same as the plural, or as the feminine nominative. Usually it's the same, but in this specific case it's not. It is the same as the masculine accusative. Also, we have another instance of the masculine nominative not copying the plural genitive. Now, granted, the rest of these technically are following the line, right? This right here is the same as the masculine. It's not what you would expect it to be, but it is the same as the masculine. So here we have the indefinite adjective endings. This is like, what it is right here. As you can see, same as nominative. These are all the same as the nominative. Spoiler alert, that's always the case, as you can see from this chart right here. And we finally have ER. So the masculine nominative, it is the same as the plural genitive ER. So it'd be, oh man, what is an example of that? Ein netter Mann? Ein netter Mann? Ein netter Mann? Yeah, that's a good example, I think. So it'd be der nette Mann, ein netter, no, der netter, sorry, der nette Mann, ein netter Mann. Netter. Am I making that clear enough? Am I distinguishing enough nette versus netter? I hope that's decent enough. Anyways, yeah. As you can see here, a lot of it is the same as the dative, or the definite article. As you can see here, SADA, that means same as definite article, and then all the other ones are different. Yeah, it's mostly just this one right here that's changed, and then these two right here that changed, and obviously the corresponding accusatives change with it as well, because the accusative non-masculine is always the same as the nominative non-masculine. And here we have the unpreceded. Truth be told, I don't even know how to use an example of an unpreceded. I would just say nette, like no the man or a man, it's just man. So I guess it would be like netter Mann or nettes Bus. I don't know. Here we're going in stride. We have em, m, so that would be von. Oh, Jesus. How do I do this? Von dem netten Mann. Von dem netten Bus. Yeah? Right. Going back in stride here. Oh, by the way, another distinction here that I didn't point out is that for the indefinite adjective ending, this is still en, right? Which means that this is the only case where the feminine dative is not the same as the plural genitive. In all the other cases it is, but in this specific case, it is not the same. Ain't that fascinating? But as you can see here now, they have adopted the ER, so von der netter Frau. Unpreceded. Whoops. And then, yeah, you get a pretty good idea of all of this right here just by looking at that. And then this is the compared to indefinite. As you can see, the only two that have changed are the dative masculine and the feminine dative. So the masculine dative and the feminine dative, which of course, correspondingly, the neuter dative, because it's always the same as the neuter masculine, sorry, not neuter masculine, the dative masculine, that changes, and the feminine genitive, which is always the same as the feminine dative, changes. So here we have the entire list. Really, you only need to learn about half of what you think you might need to know, okay? We have a lot of trends that are easy to understand. Again, a lot of annoying exceptions, but here we are. So we have some uniqueness right here. The feminine accusative, completely and wholly unique. That is why they have this full bar right here, because they are wholly unique. Same with the masculine accusative. They are wholly unique. They have within them all of their properties. And as you can see here, ignoring the pronouns, these all end with E, and these all end with N. Just saying, just saying. And these all end with M. These all end with S. Well, these two end with S. These all end with R, and I don't know, this one is just kind of weird. I don't really have anything to say. Ein, it's not eines. I don't know why it's not eines. I wonder if, I don't know what to say about that, because like we have einen. It's not eines, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I can really say that is meaningfully accurate. So, as you can see here, this right here, and I said this before, the accusative non-masculine is the exact same as the nominative non-masculine. The neuter dative and genitive are correspondingly the exact same as the masculine dative and genitive. And the feminine genitive is the exact same as the feminine dative in all cases. Now we have a lot of same as with asterisks. So we have same as star v1, same as star 2, same as star 3, same as comment 4. I think this is a comment actually. Same as star comment 1. Comment, by the way, means that it contains unique elements, right, that aren't related to anything else. So that's why we have the air here, and we have Danon, which is its word that doesn't follow anything else, right? So starting off with SA star comment 1, we have same as plural genitive, in which it is for the most part, except the indefinite article and definite adjective endings, which are the same as the neuter. Let's take a look at that example right here, right? So we have right here indefinite article. As you can see, the masculine nominative is the exact same as the neuter nominative. Here we have another example. The masculine nominative is the same as the neuter nominative for the definite adjective endings. And also a unique word error for nominative pronoun. Makes sense, right? Yeah, cool. So SA star 2, same as feminine nominative. So this is what we're looking at right here. This right here is the same as this, except, as we mentioned earlier, the definite adjective ending, where it is the same as the masculine accusative. This one right here was EN. Here, I'll show you right here. This one right here is EN, which is the masculine accusative, whereas in every other instance here, you can see that it is the exact same as the feminine. SA star 3 is same as plural genitive, except indefinite adjective ending, where it's the same as masculine accusative. SA star 3 being the feminine dative. So in most cases, it is the exact same as the plural genitive, but right here, the feminine dative in the indefinite adjective ending, it is the same as the masculine accusative. And SA comment 4, which is here, the plural dative. This one's same as with an asterisk. It's quite different in a lot of ways, but theoretically it is the same as the masculine accusative, except for articles needing plus n, article nouns needing plus n, and unique word danon for dative pronoun. So right here, danon, but we have den plus n, which is the same as the definite article here, den. Meinen plus n, which is the same as the masculine accusative einen. So, and plus n, by the way, that means that it is attaching to the noun, right? So like von, it would be like von den Schuhen. It would be ich liebe Schuhe, usually beshua, that is the accusative case, shua, but it would be von den Schuhen, adding an N at the end, right? That's just an example. And sometimes they already have an N, in which case you don't need to add N, but yeah. Did I explain the S too? It's like das Buch des Mannes. Um, I don't know if I explained that well, but yeah, the S is just plus S, basically. You just add an S at the end. With some exceptions. I think that's really basically it. Like I said, you really only need to know, like, let's take a look at this chart right here. You ignore this, and you ignore this because these are all elements that you copied from somewhere else. All you need to know, all you need to remember and recognize are these exceptions or these unique elements and exceptions right here. And mind you, quite a few of these are just copying other ones. This one right here, if you learn the exception for the plural nominative, which is that the indefinite adjective ending is the same as the masculine accusative, then all you need to do is just memorize the feminine nominative and remember that exception, and boom, you already know the plural nominative. Am I right about that, by the way? It is the same as definite adjective ending. Did I say that? Did I say definite adjective or did I say indefinite? Oops. Either way, this one, honestly, there's quite a lot you need to learn. It's der, like its pronoun is Um, the article is der. Ein, which is the same as the masculine, sorry, the neuter nominative. Um, then e, the definite adjective ending, or yeah, that's right. The definite adjective ending is the same as the nominative neuter, which is also the same as the feminine nominative. That's why we have unique star one, because did I? Oh, I didn't explain the stars here too. Hmm. I'll do that in a second. But this is the same as that in that specific case because it is ending with an E, and then right? These two here, copy these. So mostly it's copying, half of it is copying the plural genitive, but then we have our own unique word. We're copying the neuter, yeah, and then we're copying the feminine for some reason. Technically, we're copying the neuter, which is copying the feminine, but yeah, same difference. They're both the same. I didn't explain unique star one. Let me do that real quick. So unique star one, that means that it has mostly its own elements, which is taken back by this, as you can see here, but we have this little blank space right here, and that is because the definite adjective ending is the same as the feminine nominative, where it is E. Unique star two, which is this one right here, the dative, it has its own unique elements, except the the definite and indefinite adjective endings, where it's the same as the masculine accusative. So right here we have en. It's copying the masculine accusative, which is right above it. Masculine genitive, all of the adjective endings are copying all of the respective, not retroflective, the respective masculine accusative adjective endings. Unique star four. Did I skip one? No. Unique star four, which is this one right here, is unique except the definite adjective endings where it is the same as the masculine accusative. So that would be this one right here. All of these are unique except this one right here. Whoops. Undo. This one right here, which is the same as the masculine accusative, because for whatever reason, the masculine accusative is all over the place. So yeah, as long as you learn those, basically all you need to really learn is like this. You learn this, and you learn these exceptions right here. You're mostly good to go. That's like half of the information that you need, or that you might otherwise need. Um, where's an example? I have like written down. I have it somewhere. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Here we have like our hard rules and soft rules and stuff like that, right? So the hard rule one, the non-masculine accusative similarity rule. All non-masculine accusative and PAAENES, that's pronouns, articles, adjective endings, and noun endings. Okay? I'm just going to call them stuffs. All non-masculine accusative stuffs are the exact same as their nominative counterparts, right? That is the yellow, same as nominative on the chart. This one right here. The hard rule 2, the dative, genitive, neuter similarity rule. For the neuter gender in the dative and genitive case, the stuffs are the exact same as its masculine counterparts. That would be this right here, this right here, this being the same as these two. The feminine genitive similarity rule. By the way, I came up with these rules, so yeah. The feminine genitive similarity rule, for the feminine gender in the genitive case, the stuffs are the exact same as its dative counterpart. Again, that's this right here, basically. And those are all of the hard rules. Well, all of the very obvious hard rules. The feminine nominative accusative word ending rule. For the feminine gender in the nominative and accusative cases, all the articles and adjectives end with E. Z, D, mina, it all ends with E. I mentioned that earlier. For the masculine, and you can see that like right here, they all end with E. The masculine accusative word ending rule, it all ends with N. I talked about that. That would be this right here. They all end with N. Even the pronoun ends with N. Usually the rules of the pronouns don't apply to the articles, adjective endings, articles and adjective endings, but in this case it does. I guess it does for ihr, der, meiner, sie, die, meine, ihm, dem, meinem. Actually, I lied. It does actually apply. I don't know what I was talking about. I guess I was just thinking it doesn't apply because of S and das, but no. Well, actually, no, they do. They both end with an S. It's just mine that doesn't end with an S. Moving on. I don't know what I was thinking. Noun endings as a whole. So there's only 3 instances that you actually have a change in noun endings, and I made a comment about that as well. Right here we have a noun ending. Right here we have a noun ending, and right here we have a noun ending. So for the most part, the noun endings only change in 3 different scenarios. And they're pretty decently rare, but you know. Soft rule 1, the masculine nominative similarities rule. For the masculine gender in the nominative case, 3/5 of the stuffs minus pronouns, that being the definite article and the indefinite / unpreceded adjective endings, are the exact same as the plural genitive case. This is what we talked about, where it's all ending with R, right? All the stuff that ends with R here. Yeah, der, R. The other 2/5, that being the indefinite article and definite adjective endings, are the same as the neuter gender. Of course, it is colored as green because it's based off of the feminine, but it is the same as the neuter gender. It just so happens to be that this right here is also the same as the feminine. So there's 2 ways you can go about it. You can either say that this is the same as the neuter, and that the neuter is the same as feminine, or you could both say that they're both the same as the feminine. Either way, I think we can all agree the feminine is the default because they all end with the letter E. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and there's a unique word er for the pronoun, which is the word he. Soft rule 2, the plural nominative accusative similarities rule. For the plural gender in the nominative and accusative cases, the stuffs minus pronouns are the exact same as its feminine counterparts, with the exception of the definite article ending that is the same as the masculine accusative, that being en. That is what we pointed out, which was sa*2. For the feminine gender in the dative and genitive cases, the articles, adjective endings, and noun endings are exact same as the plural genitive, with the exception of the indefinite article adjective ending, which is the same as the masculine accusative, that being en. That was sa*3 on my chart. For the plural gender in the dative case, the articles and adjective endings are the exact same as the masculine accusative. The only difference is the noun ending, where you need plus n. So that would be like den. Yeah, and there was a U or denen, right? But like it would be den plus n, minen plus n. We talked about that. The masculine non-nominative adjective endings similarities rules. Look at this, right? TM, NN, AESR, man. Like, or all ends but one. So for the masculine gender in the accusative, dative, and genitive cases, the adjective ending is en, with the exception of the unpreceded dative adjective ending, which is m. So what does that mean? It means that if you look at this chart right here, where is it? Grouped by gender? Should I group by? No, I should group by here. Now, you know what? You know what? It says most notable somewhere, right? Most notable where? Where does it say it's most notable? Most notable on the second through fourth rows on group by gender chart. So it is grouped by gender. Second through fourth rows. Right. So as you can see here, all of these are en, except for this one, which is em. That's it. So that's a way of learning it as well, if you want to go about doing it like that. Basically, for all the non-masculine, or for the masculine non-nominative adjective endings, they're all en, except for the masculine dative unpreceded adjective ending, which is em. Make sense? Yeah? Cool. The N supremacy in definite adjective endings. The definite adjective endings for all genders in all cases is en, with exceptions of the with exceptions of the masculine, feminine, and neuter nominative, and the feminine and neuter accusative, which is e. And I talked about that. It's quite easy to see in this chart right here. They're all en except for these three right here and these two right here. So this chart should be quite easy to remember. There are so many different ways that German could have been so much easier. Like, not even easy to the level of English, but at least following its own consistencies, right? Where these were all ER, you know what I mean? Or these were all E instead of being EN. Stuff like that. It's just so stupid. Whatever. Anyways, for all genders, the article similarities as a whole, for all genders in all cases, with the exceptions of the masculine and neuter nominative and neuter accusative, there are clear parallels between the definite and indefinite articles, notably where the final letter is the same. So this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where it is die meine, den meinen, des meines, den meinen, der meiner. The only exceptions are der mein, das mein. Is that it? Those are the only two exceptions? I think that's it. Der mein and das mein, where they both end with n in the indefinite article, but the definite articles just none of the letters are the same, except for this e, I guess. But, yeah. Cool. And finally, this used to be the hard rule before I changed it so that it was a soft rule because it doesn't apply and there are exceptions. The feminine and plural genders, in all cases, you will never see the letter M or S adjective endings for articles, adjective endings, or noun endings. Notably, this doesn't include the pronoun sie. So yeah, if you're looking at the feminine and plural gender, you're not going to see any letters M or S. So even if you don't know, you can narrow it down by saying, well, it's feminine or plural, there's no M or S. Take a look at this, right? Not including the M at the front, right? Mine, M, whatever. But right here, look at this. We got E's, we got R's, we got E's, we got N's, but no M and no S. You'll never see an M or an S. However, the word Z obviously has the letter S in it. That's why it's a soft rule and not a hard rule. Anyways, that's it. Hopefully I explained things decently well. I don't know if this is even a good video. I kind of just ranted. Did I show all without repetition? This right here? This is pretty cool. Oh, and then here's some basic sentences. Der Mann kennt den Mann. So we have der Mann right here. Kennt den Mann, den, because it's accusative. Von dem, I could write vom, right? Vom is a word, but I did von dem Vater des Bruders. So as you can see here, these are all masculine, but because of the cases, we have der Mann kennt den Mann von dem Vater des Bruders. Das Baby kennt das Baby von dem Mädchen. Remember, Mädchen is neuter. because of the shin at the end. So it's das Mädchen, but in the dative case, it is dem Mädchen, because again, dem is the masculine dative, and the neutered dative is always the same as the masculine dative. Des Spiels, again, des because the neuter genitive is the same as the masculine genitive. Des Spiels, and they also have the s at the end, right? Because it would be Bruder, but it's Bruders, because s plus s, it would be Spiel, but it's Spiels plus s because of this right here. Die Frau kennt die Frau von der, so as you can see here, d, right? These are the same. And it will be the same for all of them, really, except for the masculine. Die Frau kennt die Frau von der Mutter der Schwester. So, this is die Frau, nominative, kennt die Frau, accusative, von der Mutter, Mutter obviously being feminine, and Frau obviously being feminine too. Von der Mutter, dative, der Schwester, also genitive, but it is der, the same thing. Die Leute kennen die Leute von den Eltern der Geschwister. So, die Leute, nominative, kennen, because, different conjugation. So it's not kennt, it's kennen. Kennen die Leute, accusative, von den Eltern, dative, der Geschwister, genitive. And also notice that it's den Eltern. Now, Eltern, I believe, is just the normal way that you say it. But if your word didn't, if the dative plural did not have an n at the end already, then you would add an n. So like I said with Schuhe, it would, if instead of saying von der Schuhe, you would say von der Schuhen, because Schuhen is plural. I mean, they're both plural. Schuhe and Schuhen are plural, but it's Schuhen because it's in the dative case and it's plural. That would be this right here, right? The den plus n or meinen plus n. Why is this denen plus n? There's no plus n there. Unless if there is, in which case I'm wrong. There you go. Hope I somewhat explained that and everything. Maybe this will make it a little bit easier for you to learn German. To me, this makes sense, right? I get it, right? To try and explain it to someone else might be a bit difficult. I get it. I can wrap my head around it. But I also created this whole thing, so I kind of needed to. I spent a lot of time making sure that everything here was right, going through examples and all that stuff. So I hope that it's able to help you. Take care, I guess. Peace.